You must feel that scoreline's harsh on you.
Yeah, look, I don't think the scoreline reflects the game. Anybody who watched it live will look. I thought we were really good for 40 minutes. I actually thought even the second half, the first 5 minutes we were okay, but yeah, that second half really got away from us. I just felt like they got a roll on. I think we completed at 50%. Look, no matter whether we're playing an amateur team or an understrength Wigan team, when you only complete at 50%, you just do not give yourself a chance. The problem for us was as well, it wasn't just a lack of completion. The drops were on the first tackle, and it were Harry Smith once again who crucified us. It's not the first time he's done that this season. Look, I thought the Rooks started speeding up in the second half, and we've all got to take a little bit of accountability for that. But then once that happened, Harry Smith strangled us. He strangled us. We dropped one with George, and then we dropped one with Bibbs, and then we still should have solved it. They're offloading the ball, and we should have locked on ball, stopped the offload from getting. But it was a fabulous try, but you don't want it to land in anybody's hands but Harry Smith. And as soon as it lands in his hands, you're just like yeah, and that's not the first time he's done that to us this year. His kicking game, we really struggled with it in that second half. But I just felt like, look, we overcome a lot of adversity once again. Burge, pulled himself. Well, we're out due to illness last night. Swifty pulled it. Had to come out of the warm up. Pulled himself out of the warm up. Tight adductor. It looks like Sam Hewitt's potentially broke his jaw. We'll find that out now when he goes to hospital. And Joe Greenwood couldn't come back on with a head knock, and that really affected us because we lost 2 head knocks, and it affected his ability to make substitutions in that second half. It's not an excuse. Wigan had their own things they had to deal with and being under strength, so it's not an excuse. But yeah, probably made life a little bit harder for us.
You must have felt you should have been further in front at half time.
Yeah, that's probably one of the most frustrating things. I thought we were so dominant in the first half that even though we had the 2 HIAs and they weren't going to come on, it affected the subs, that I thought we did enough in that first half to probably be at least another score up, and yeah, that would have probably made us a little bit more comfortable. But yeah, that wasn't the case.
So just to check, Sam failed an HIA, but he probably broke his jaw as well.
He didn't actually fail an HIA. We think he's broke his jaw. Joe Greenwood did fail his HIA. Swifty came off in the warm up with an abductor issue, and Burge is at home poorly.
You must dread match days.
Do you know, we've been pretty good over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
The last few weeks, getting bodies on board, and we've had a sort of a clean bill of health where people have been coming back into the side and actually staying there. So it's been really nice last couple of weeks. Yeah, hopefully those, we can get, potentially get, we lost Wilson other week as well. So hopefully we can get, some bodies back on board again.
Just speaking of bodies, Matt Boyle looked to have an impact. Is he someone a loan spell that you're hoping to extend?
Yeah, look, we've tried at the beginning of the year to play without a genuine half. When Clooney were out at the beginning of the year, it didn't work out too well for us. Since he's come on loan to us, obviously, we picked up some victories. He's been instrumental in that. So yeah, he's somebody we'd love to keep on board. Obviously, that's discussions that the club will be having with Leeds about whether that's something we can continue or not. I'll leave that to them. But yeah, from my perspective, obviously I think he's made a big difference. So yeah, I'd like to keep him.
And hopefully, as you say, the halves, it's a combination that you want to build. You don't just want to change it every 4 weeks.
Yeah, obviously, you build some consistency up there, and sometimes you need to give people rests and bring them out the teams who've got niggles and knocks, but whenever you can, your halves in particular, you like to keep your 7 and 6 together. Your 7, 6 and 9, the more often you can have them playing together, the better it is.
Just lastly, Leroy Cudjoe, 400 Giants appearances. How did you think he went tonight, and just how much of an absolute stalwart is he for this club?
Oh look, mate, I know that he gets used a lot as legend. I know Billy Boston was, you know, obviously what he's done in the game has been sensational, an unbelievable servant to the game, and Wigan Warriors, and rightly so. He got a lot of, the showcase were for him today, and rightly so. But for us as a Huddersfield, somebody who's played with him, I think eventually he'll go down as a legend of the Huddersfield Giants. I think he's at this moment in time, you don't normally appreciate what players do, and it's only when once they retire that you actually realise what they've done for the club and for the game. I think Leroy, for the Huddersfield Giants, will definitely go down as a legend. Not only what he does on the field, but what type of person he is off the field, what he does within the community. You know, I've never heard anybody say a bad word about him. I thought once again, in the old age that he is, he was probably one of his best players once again. I've got 3 young boys that play rugby, and I always say over and over again, if they turn into the same man that Leroy is and turn into the same player he is, then I'd be extremely proud.